been this long. And it's the end of the conference, the second day of the conference. We're about to wrap up. But I actually do see a large crowd still. So you guys are warriors. So I'll share a little secret about Binance. So when people ask us what's our strategy, what's our secret for success, one of the answers we arrived unanimously in the team is we're hardcore. So we're warriors. So this came from a trip we took somewhere as a team building exercise. And until like 8 p.m., everyone's still out there running these exercises, and no one wants to stop. And I really believe that's actually the main reason Binance is successful. So I think all of you guys here have the stamina to compete with us. So if anyone of you wants to join Binance at some point, we are hiring. So let me talk a little bit about Binance, or what Binance is. I think after 2 days of conference, probably you guys will have a pretty good idea of what Binance is, but let me just reiterate a little bit. Most people think of Binance as an exchange. So we are an exchange, that's our main business, that's our main revenue generator, and that's what's powering all this Binance ecosystem. But Binance is more than an exchange. We are trying very hard to build an ecosystem, to build a healthy example of how this industry is going to grow. So we do have Binance Academy, which is a free educational portal. Right now it's mainly online. We have about 50 videos right now and a few hundred articles. And they're not just in one language, not just in English. So now we have articles and videos in 15 plus languages and subtitles. So we want to be an international educational platform. It is my strong belief that education is more beneficial than giving people money. So I think teaching people about cryptocurrency will really help them to change their lives. And it will also help us grow this industry. So I think that's very, very important. I want to talk a little bit about a trust wallet, which is a decentralized on-chain wallet where you control your crypto private keys. So you control your funds 100%. We never touch the private keys. We never have control of your funds. And Trust Wallet just did a major update recently. So most of you probably think of Trust Wallet as a Ethereum ERC20 token wallet. But today, with the release of the upgrade, right now it supports Bitcoin Cash, Dash, Litecoin, Tron, and much more. So it all fits in one mobile application. So if you guys haven't used it, you should try it. And also the hardware support aspects of it will come very soon. So Trust Wallet is a decentralized browser as well. I view wallets as browsers. I view wallets for cryptocurrency as browsers for the internet. So I think that's a very key component of the industry. We should continue to grow in that area. We launched Binance Jersey. It's a tremendous success. At the same time, we're experiencing some problems due to the overwhelming success. There are a lot of some bad lags in the KYC processing. So we are working hard through that. And we do plan to launch a number of other fiat exchanges around the world, especially now given the Jersey's success or the current feedback. I believe there's very high demand for good fiat to crypto exchanges. And I think that's a key for opening up this industry further. In the last couple of days, actually, before I talk about that, so we also have DEX coming up. The Binance DEX, Binance Chain will go live. The testnet will be released in about a couple of weeks, 2 to 3 weeks. And the Binance Chain, I actually personally strongly believe will have a big impact, a big improvement to our current ecosystem. So the Binance Chain is a chain that has a 1 second block time. So every second there's a new block. So there's 1 second confirmation. And one confirmation is final. So there's no possibility of rollbacks, forks. So now we can allow instant transactions. So I think with 1 second confirmation times, we can begin to accept e-commerce, payments, many other solutions. But on top of that, we have the Binance decentralized exchange running natively on the Binance chain. So now it's very easy for you to create a token and list it on the decentralized exchange. You just have to pay a little bit of BNB as fee. So, but the Binance chain does not have smart contracts. So to create a token, you just specify the token name, your token symbol, how many decimals does your token have, and pay a little bit of BNB, and boom, you have your token. And if you want to get it listed on the DEX, you pay a little bit of BNB and submit an application, and then the validators vote for it. So we believe that would be a new way to run exchanges. And the Binance chain will be able to handle the same volume as we handle on Binance.com today. So we believe that should be sufficient for the decentralized exchanges going forward. And the Binance chain is going to feature a very similar UI that you're very familiar with with Binance chain. So that's the DEX that's coming up. And I want to show you this slide at the beginning, but now we got the slide up. So this is Binance Charity. So with one BNB token now, what can you do with one BNB token? You can help a kid in Africa, you can feed a kid for 1 month in Africa with one BNB. So you might not think one BNB is a lot, but one BNB is able to do a lot in some parts of the world. So this is an initiative that we would invite you to donate however many amount. One BNB is okay, even 0.1 is okay. So please donate generously. The QR code is there. All the donations will be tracked transparently through the blockchain. So we have Binance.charity website. It is Binance.charity, and all the transactions will be tracked online. So the transactions will be on the blockchain, but the website is a better view of grouping the transactions together so that you can view how many transactions went into a charity program and where the money went from the charity program to the beneficiaries. So it's a very transparent platform. So I personally believe for charity, we need to maintain 100% transparency, and blockchain solves that problem. So that's pretty much what I want to share. And I personally learned a lot during the conference in the last 2 days and the hackathon for the previous 2 days. So I met a lot of interesting people. I learned from them. I think basically, I'll give you a couple of examples. I learned in depth how some of our clients trade, how they work. They work in magical ways that I could never imagine. So I'm pretty sure I never want to be a trader. I want to stick to my own business. The hackathon gave us a lot of really good ideas in terms of how to become providing a much safer environment for this ecosystem, how we fight scams, how we identify bad malicious actors or addresses, including some of the very nice, slick browser plugin-based UIs, including some very advanced AI-driven analysis on the blockchain. So we will try to incorporate that into the Binance platform, or I will intend to make a new platform incorporating all of those ideas together. So I have talked with all the 6 finalists of the hackathon, and we'll try to come together and work together on a new common platform to fight fraud and to keep our society safe. So with that, I want to conclude that I want to repeat that Binance is an 18-month-old baby, and we still have a lot of room to improve. We have a lot of deficiencies in many areas. So thank you for bearing with us, and thank you for giving us feedback. And this is the first ever Binance event that we have organized. So we had a few issues here and there, and please excuse us. But if there's any way we can make this experience better, we would hope to keep this as a regular recurring event. So our next event date is not set yet, but we will definitely organize another one soon. We don't like to plan too far ahead. So we're always the last minute scrambling type. But with that, I thank you so much for coming. I thank all of our sponsors. Tron, Alamanda, Block, and many other sponsors. There are too many of them, I can't read off the list altogether. And I thank all of the other sponsors for hosting the private dinners, after parties, Cumberland, Block, and all of you guys. So thank you so much. And most important of all, I want to thank all of you for attending. Myself, the Binance team will still be around in the conference halls if you want to catch us. I do have another stack of business cards I will give out for anyone who wants to contact me. There is my email address on it, but my email address is assisted by my assistant. I can't read all the emails now. So please do excuse me, but that's also a very good way to reach me. And if you want to come and talk for one last bit, I will be at the dinner, and there's a couple of different after parties. I'm still trying to figure out which one to be, but I will try to come to all of them. And lastly, thank you so much for coming, and I hope you have a good time. Thank you so much.